Hello, I'm Lindsay from Six Leaf Design, and today we're going to be talking about the image block in Squarespace. We're going to take a deep dive into it, take a look at all the different layouts that you can use to make your site more creative. Instead of just using the image block to place an image simply in there, there's lots of things that we can do with it. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to find the page that we want to add an image to, and we're going to figure out where we want to, and we're just going to select the image block. You can have access to all the different layouts. So when we upload an image, we can either, we're in the content tab right here, we can either drag and drop an image right here, or we can click and go find the image that we want to add on our computer. And I'm just gonna drag and drop an image right here, and then we'll have an image to play around with. So once you have your image uploaded, you can go over to the Design tab to figure out the layout that you want and set some settings to make it work the way that you want it to. So the first layout is the inline image block. That's the default layout. This is the original image block, and it's pretty straightforward. It's either your image, you have the option to write a caption here, and then you can choose to have the caption below the image. You can not display the caption at all. You can have it overlay on the image, or you can overlay on hover. And that just means that when you are off the image, it won't appear. If I go ahead and save this, I can show you. So no caption. When I hover over it, now there's a caption. So the next layout design is the poster image block. So this allows you to have an image with text displayed over your image. So you can see if I click on that, now I've got an area to write text. So I can write a headline here, and then you can write a subtitle here. You have those two areas for text, and then you also have an option to add a link to this block. So you can either have no link, you can have it link on the image, and that means this whole image area will be clickable, or you can also add a button. And your button text will go here, so I can type whatever I want my button to be, get in touch, and then I can add my URL link where I want it to go. And let's say I want it to go to my Facebook page. So cool. So now I have a poster block where I've added text in the form of a headline, a subtitle, and I've also added a button. Next up is the card image layout, and this aligns your text to the left or the right of your image, and then it has your picture on the opposite side. So you can also go and style this so that it has a background image or a background color behind the text. Same as with the poster, we've got our headline in one area, we've got our subtitle in another area. Here's where we can control if the image is positioned on the right or the left side. And here's where we can control if we want no link, a link just on the image, or a link with a button. The next layout is the overlap image block. So this is very similar to the card block, except that for this one, you can have the text partially overlapping your image. So if I position this with my image to the left and my headline to the right, you can see how this headline has been styled to overlap slightly over the image. So same options here. We've got area for headline text, area for subtitle text, and then we control if you want to click on the image or if you want to add a button to it. All those are the same options here. And then for any of these blocks, once you've input your information and input this block and saved, you can go over to the style editor and change the layout or the colors so that they fit with your branding or whatever it is, your fonts, all that good stuff. So right now we're just playing with the layout, but we can go style them afterwards. Next up is the collage layout, and this keeps the text on one side, similar to the overlap card or the overlap or the card layouts, but this one creates a color block behind the entire text and slightly overlaps the image. Again, you have a place for a headline, a subtitle, and a button. You can also make not clickable at all. You can have it just be clickable on the image. All the same functionality as before, just the styling is different. And then our last image, or our last layout for the image block, is the stack layout. So this displays your text below the image. Again, we have the same options though. We have a headline, a space for a subtitle, and then we can also input a link and have it be on the image or on creating a button. So let's pick one of these fun ones. Let's pick the card layout. So the nice thing about this is once you put in your image, you pick your layout, you put in your headline, your subtitle, and your button. If you go ahead and save these, then we're going to go back out to the design section and click on style editor. And once you have this block in place, it will now appear in your style editor so that you can change the fonts, the colors, and control some of the spacing as well to make this fall in line with your brand. So if I go down here, you can see now I have image block card has appeared in my style editor. So dynamic font sizing, that means that it will adjust the size to whatever your browser is at. You can control the alignment of where your content comes in. So you can have it line up with the top, the center, or the bottom of your image. I, most of the time, like it to keep it at the top or the center. You can choose the alignment of your text, left, right, center. You can control the width of your image. Within this block, what percentage of it do you want to be taken up by your image? Let's go with 60%. Great. Here's where we can control the color and the title, the font, the weight, the style, sizing, all like you would with your normal text. Here's where you can control your subtitle, and you can even control the spacing between these. So here's what I really like to do with these card blocks is I actually really like to change the background color. So right now the background color is white. So let's say we want to change this to like a nice teal color. There we go. So that looks really nice. And then let's change the headline to white. So that pops off of there. And let's change the subtitle to white, but let's take the opacity down just a little bit so that it's not. So the headline is really what pops. I can control the padding of this so you can see how, whoa, that adds way too much padding. So let's keep that at 15. Card separation, you can control if this card is actually connected or how much separation there is between the image and the card. If there's an overlay color or not, I usually don't like to do that. Like to keep my photos nice and bright. And then you can also control the button font, the styles, the colors. Maybe we want this button to be, maybe we want it to be orange. Let's make an orange button. All right, there we go. That looks pretty nice. And you can control a border. So you can make a border on there and see how wide it's going to be. You can control how rounded it is. So now I have a square button and I can control how far away it is. So those are all the things that you can control just with the card layout. So any of the other image layouts that you have, once you save it and your layout is in place, you'll be able to come over to the style editor and change your colors, your fonts, your sizings so that it works exactly the way that you want it and it matches with your branding. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm excited to see what you do with the images block.